and welcome to my channel. I'm the Angry Simmer, and today's video is a two-parter. You're gonna see the other half tomorrow. I know people don't love those, but it's just such a huge build. I built it on the 64 by 64 lot, I believe is the measurements, on, there's me counting, on the island in, not Willow Creek. Anyways, we built it on the island in Windenburg, and it is Santa's house. Yes, because we created a sim of Santa. We didn't build Santa yesterday, and I wanted to be able to take some screenshots of Santa and Mrs. Claus and their family in front of their house, and it just turned into something else. So it turned into a huge build, and I decided to put it up on the gallery. So here you are. Well, not just on the gallery, but, you know, on YouTube. And if you see in the corner, I decided to add a little fun and sparkle into my series for Christmas. I'm going to be doing a lot of Christmas themed builds and things like that this December. So I just wanted you guys to be able to have that fun spirit. And so when you see those up in the corner, you know it's a Christmas themed build or create a sim. Also, I have some festive music that I found on what's it called, guys? The same place I get all my music. It'll be linked in the description. My brain's not working very well today again. I'm still trying to tackle my Christmas tree. We've got a lot of issues. We just bought it last year, and I'm guessing why we got such an expensive tree for a low price is the fact that you know, it's pretty much done for. There is a lot of issues with the bulbs. So anyways, so my idea here was that Santa and Mrs. Claus lived on the island, and, you know, it's very secluded here. It's very private, and all the other houses on this island would be filled with the elves and things like that. And so I do put the workshop here, and I kind of make it where, like I said, it was based off of my Santa and Mrs. Claus were based off the 1970s claymation characters. And, so the idea was that it wasn't always cold in, I think it was Somber Town, one of the two, but it is, you know, it is cold a lot of the time, but still Mrs. Claus, being that she was a teacher and she loved children and animals and things like that, she also got into gardening. So there's a whole lot of foliage and things here. And once the snow mod starts working, I'm laughing right now because I just got off of watching Harry's stream on Twitch, and in that, Irrelevant Sims got all of our hopes up and told us, you know, this is not a drill. The snow mod is ready. The snow mod is ready. And so everyone in the chat like zoomed over to pick up the snow mod, to no avail because it's not ready yet. So yeah. There was some disappointment there because, of course, I've been trying and to figure out why it wasn't working, and I thought that it was updated with the cats and dogs, but it wasn't. So, because a lot of people were posting creations that they had that they put, you know, which onto the Sims resource, they were posting stuff that had the snow mod in that worked, and I'm guessing that they just did them before the updates, and that's why. Also, on a side note, those windows there, these really cool things, I love them so much. I'm so glad I finally have a build I got to use them on, so yay. I love this. I thought of it as kind of like a Tudor mansion, that sort of style that, you know, I thought of Santa's English. I don't know why. But that's, you know, that's how I've always imagined him, as a jolly old Englishman. So, anywho, but what I was trying to say was that once the snow mod is finally ready to go, I will probably do another video for Santa, maybe his vacation home in the snow. That's such a funny thing to say. But yeah, I really just, you know, I think it's going to be beautiful once the snow is there. So at the very least, I will release some photos of it so that you can see how awesome this build can be with the snow mod, and decide if you want to download the snow mod if you decide to download this build. Here, I'm just super excited to get the chance to use the whatever archways, I guess, kind of window, kind of archway from cats and dogs. I thought it made it look pretty cool. The connection between the Claus's house and the workshop. I wanted it to feel like the elves were thought of as part of the family. And so like I do show on this video a little bit of or actually show you some of the interior of the workshop as I'm decorating it, but we don't get any of the actual interior of the house. So, and part of that is because I actually did picking out the wallpapers off screen, because this is just a massive build. Like just what we're showing now, it's already a 25-minute video and I've cut so much out of it to begin with, but to slap on extra, it was... When I had it sped up 3 times, it was still 2 hours, if that tells you anything. So, but yeah, anyways, I love this. The stone and the Tudor exterior together. The workshop's really industrial looking, but still like happy. And I put in lots of light and fireplaces and things like that. And I kind of made like there's a stairway that goes up to the upstairs, which is kind of like their break room. I've got a bunch of tables up there for them to just sit and relax. And then down here, there's woodworking benches and cupcake making things, because those just looked like toy factory business to me. But I also thought that, yeah, of course the elves make Christmas-themed cupcakes. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? So, but you do get to see that, and you get to see the landscape in this video. So don't be sad. We've got plenty of fun in here. I was kind of like... I wasn't as in love with the landscaping that I did here than I normally would be, but... I don't know. I think it's because it's such a huge lot. I can't really take up as much space with landscaping as I wish I could. And I was trying to, convey the idea that Mrs. Claus liked to garden as well. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll convince Harry to redo my build for me, and she can put in all over beautiful landscaping. Because we did manage on the stream today to convince her to make a stream with custom content instead of her making it without, because we're bad influences like that. But custom content is king in my book. But hey, now here I put in a walkway and a sunroom sort of ordeal, so this is more adding on to the idea of the workshop and the main house are together in the same thing, so that you have this awesome sunroom for the family to sit and enjoy looking out on the backyard and the snow. But it's also, a nice like little area for the elves to sit and have cookies brought to them by Mrs. Claus. And then of course I did use the Peacemaker archways there, and pretty much as much Peacemaker as I possibly could. This is also, side note, the first time I've gotten to use those windows, and I'm very happy about it because they are beautiful and I love them. But I also kind of felt like I needed more windows somehow. But as you will tell, this is a huge build, and I do intend on the Clauses having a lot of grandchildren to live in there, and their 2 daughters do still live with them. And I actually moved that door around. And then, of course, their grandchildren and their daughters' husbands or wives, you never know, would live with them there as well. But we do main living on the bottom floor, and then we do just a ton of bedrooms and a couple of offices on the second floor. And then we do a whole apartment on the next floor. Now, I'm trying to decide, because there is another level above that doesn't have anything going on yet. I put 2 bedrooms in the apartment upstairs, which is for the oldest daughter and her children, or her current daughter and husband. And the idea is for her to be the one that takes over the family business, her and her husband. But I only put 2 bedrooms up there, and I kind of felt like, because I could toss in access to that next room, I could make a pretty cool teenager's room upstairs of it. So here's me making the upstairs. And the only reason that I close off this much is because the little bit of roof, that glitch where the roof comes into the building, I wanted to close that off and kind of have that whole thing feel like it was, maybe this was an extension, or the upstairs used to be storage But once they had daughters and then their daughters grew up, they decided to convert that so that they'd have their own apartment. But like I said, the hard part is with that is I have to figure out where to put the stairs up there, and that would take a lot of the living room space from the parents to put, because we don't have spiral staircases yet, Maxis. We were just talking about this on the Harry stream that no one really that does CC gets invited to Sims Camp, and I'm probably not helping myself with how much crap I give the Maxis team. I would like them to know that I do actually appreciate and absolutely adore the work that they do because I love this game. And it's just that Mama's a little sassy and she likes to let you know what you can improve on, which, by the way, fun little thought from the chat at Harry's stream today. If you could just go ahead and employ Peacemaker and Deaderpool, the gentleman or lady or team, whatever it may be, that make the MC Command Center mod, that would be great because they're extremely talented modders, and they could, you guys could use them. I know the idea is for simmers that go to Sims Camp to be people who just play the game as is and don't add anything extra in, and for them to give you their ideas, but I think it would do Maxis a whole heck of a lot of good if you invited the modders in to give you their take, because they're just average people without the technology that you have at Maxis and EA that are creating basically your game and doing fantastic things with it. So, or making a whole other dimension to the game that you've provided for us. So just a thought, you could really, make an amazing thing for the game. Now, moving back on to my build, and I'm going to stop giving Max's crap because I would like to go to Sims Camp too, and I would like to be nice to them at some point so that they actually want to spend time with me and hear my positive opinions about the game. Anyways, sorry about that. I had to stop the recording for a second and take a drink of my tea because apparently the Sims gods do not like me being mean to Maxis. So I got to enjoy my silver needle tea that I got from Tivana for a second there to make myself feel better and stop coughing. Note to you guys, remember, I usually don't edit that out or stop. I just make you guys listen to me yawn or cough. So I'm being nicer. I'm in a better mood. I'm not such an angry simmer right now. Mostly, I think, because I'm working on Christmas stuff and it's my favorite time of year. And I got to watch one of my favorite simmers, play the game and take in our ideas on it. Which, by the way, Twitch needs to kind of work on speeding things up because, the chat was so far behind the video that she would just be super confused about what we were talking about by the end of it. But, okay. Speaking of Harry and Irrelevant Sims, I picked up a little bit of one of their habits of not doing the wallpapers and flooring until later on in the build. Usually I start with like walls and then wallpapers, and that kind of causes a problem. Then I have to adjust and move things around and I get annoyed with it. But look at me learning from those fabulous ladies. I'm so ridiculous today. You know what? I was really worried because this is a 25-minute video and I did a little bit of a fly through at the end because it's just, it's so beautiful on the island, and it's, this is an awesome, enormous build. So, I threw a little something in there and I was like, how am I going to talk over all of this? And then I had to work on my Christmas tree that is just being a giant turd. Right there, to switch topics for a second, right there I was trying to put in a skylight, and I could have sworn that I had some from a modder. I thought, oh, that's such pretty flowers. Anyways, I thought there was a modder that made like a ceiling tile, and I could have sworn I had it. So if I'm missing it and you guys know what I'm looking for, that actually like attaches to the roof and makes it look like a real sun, or not a sunroom. This is a greenhouse, a greenhouse roof. Leave in the comments what it is so that we can all share and know what I was talking about, so that somebody knows what's going on. Anyways, yeah, so this is going along with the idea that Mrs. Claus loves to garden and loves to bake and loves to be that mom that just has everything together. And so I put her in a sunroom, and then I feel like at some point maybe Santa didn't have the best of health, and Mrs. Claus was like, you know what's a great low impact workout? A swim. We should put a pool in the backyard. Let's do that, Santa. And so that's what we're doing here. Is Mrs. Claus said, you need to work out, Santa. You need to be healthier for your kids and the kids of the world. So put me in a pool so that I can sit out there and suntan and take a dip in the pool after I get done, making the yard beautiful. I mean, take care of yourself, Santa, I think I did something similar to my poor husband. I was like, honey, exercise is really important. And, you had that motorcycle accident. You really need to do stuff that's good for your joints or easier on your joints. We should get a swimming pool. It'll be good for you. Fast forward to me being the only one that swam in our pool, really. Yep. And I just saw an actual piece of actual Maxis content that I was like, oh, I need that. That should have been in the spot. And I just passed it right up. It's the bench that's like that. I actually put that as like a table for them to set their drinks on. But anyways, so ridiculous. Yeah, sometimes Maxis has the good stuff. I need to add some more to these. I feel like there needs to be more clutter over there, more stuff going on in the backyard. It feels a little empty just because I think I had such a large amount of space to cover that it just wasn't, it didn't want to work for me. Or it doesn't look right to me. And fun story, I haven't finished doing the interior of it yet. And I'm really close to it being done. I really am. And I've got almost all of it recorded, so it's fine for tomorrow. But yeah, it's already slowing down my game a ton. Like I had to, when I shut it down for it to take a rest for a little bit, I had to use Control-Alt-Delete to shut down the Sims because I just wasn't having it. This lot is so huge, and I have an enormous computer that does really, really well, but with that mixed with CC, it just, sometimes it's a problem. Sometimes it slows down on these bigger lots. Like whenever I use Pixel Playgrounds, what is it? It's called, not Brindleton Bay, Brentwood Estates. Love that build. Love decorating that. I love putting it on the island. I love having Sims live there. It's just fun to play out stories there. But God, does my game want to crash so bad. Especially when I have MC Command Center in. I get an error log constantly, and it's just like, it does not compute. I can't do it. Stop making me work with so much. Which I don't understand because I know, okay, let's be honest. I don't know a whole lot about computers. I don't know a whole lot about programming. But I would think that because it doesn't have to render everything, that it should be okay as long as I'm not moving around the house as much. It shouldn't be killing the computer so quickly. And it makes it feel like I'm playing The Sims 3 again whenever I'm on this huge lot. And maybe that's why they only really gave us this one enormous lot. Because it is really bad on computers. And like I said, I have an extremely powerful computer, so I can't imagine what anybody else that has a ton of CC and not such a powerful computer would have happen to it. But I might have to request for Christmas, something to help run my game better. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about computers. It's my husband saying he built the computer I'm playing on. So I'll update you guys on if he finds something that'll fix the issue that I'm having, because if he can make the 64 by 64 lot work for me and not freeze up, then I feel like you guys should know about it. Or you guys probably already know about it and you could just put it in the comments for me. But anywho, so guys, we're getting pretty close to the end. We've got a few more minutes left, but I want to know how you guys are doing. What are you guys doing right now for the holiday season? What are your traditions? I would love to know if anybody's watching from India. I don't think I have any watcher or listeners. I don't know how to really, term that, but, oh, by the way, I changed the trees up. I guess I did show putting these in. I thought I didn't have it recording, but yeah, I put in a bunch of trees and landscaping earlier, and maybe I didn't put in the first trees, I didn't show that, but I decided to make it look more like an evergreen forest instead of a bunch of stuff that shouldn't have leaves during the winter. Anyways, but yeah, so I had to call American Express today because apparently my last name was never changed on my credit card, and that was causing some problems. And of course I got somebody from India. And the gentleman who helped me out told me happy holidays. And, I said, same to you. Thank you so much. And, cause I'm really nice on the phone. I'm actually not as like evil as a person when I'm on the phone with some poor person that has to deal with cranky people all day. Because I've done customer service before and it is horrible. So I'd always like to be the customer that I would prefer to have. So anyways, but I was wondering, because I don't know a whole lot about Indian culture, even though I love it. I don't know how that's possible, but I love the beauty and the history and things like that. But I haven't done a lot of research into the different religions that are in India to find out what is celebrated during December. So if you're from India and you're a listener, or you're Indian and you're from anywhere else, but you have traditions from your family, tell me about them. I'd love to know what you guys celebrate around December, because I know there are hundreds of religions celebrating something in December, and I know a whole lot. Or I know, Judaism, and I know Christianity, what we're celebrating. And I know stuff about paganism, and I know stuff about Kwanzaa. So I know those things, but I have no idea about anybody else. So leave me in the comments what you do in December. Do you have a religion or a holiday that you celebrate? Or do you not? And you're just like, I'm going to have some mac and cheese. Because, I'd like to know what you do in December if you're not celebrating. Like, is it an average day? Do you do something special, or are you just like, nah, it's Tuesday, so, or whatever day it happens to fall on that year? But yeah, and then, all the people that do celebrate or don't celebrate Christmas, respectively, do you guys do anything with Santa? Do you guys talk about Santa with your kids or cousins or uncles, nieces, nephews, all that fun stuff? Or is Santa like a no-no? You don't talk about him. Because, I know there's a lot of religions that are like, no, Santa, no, you do not. Because it's kind of like worshiping a false god sort of idea. At least that's what I was always taught. But I love Santa, and I think he's pretty cool. I did find out, apparently, St. Nick and Santa Claus are different people, though. Kris Kringle, St. Nick, all that. I know it's different stories, but because my father-in-law is super duper Catholic, and he was like, no, St. Nick is different than Santa Claus. And I'm like, I thought it was the same guy. So, and he never went into any more explanation of it. He just was like, no, you're wrong. Moving on. But, that's how I was raised Baptist, so he kind of looks at me like an uneducated fool sometimes when it comes to religion, because we live in the St. Louis area, and it's extremely Catholic here. So he's like, how do you not know this stuff? But, I grew up in an area that was extremely secular. So what you going to do about it? But we are coming up on the screenshots. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you for some reason like my chit chat, then hit the subscribe button so you can hang out with me some more and enjoy my first successful fly through. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.